Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. On today's video we're going to be talking about that new space there, which is the Transogen territory, which is basically an extension of Klingon space, and also the new Forge building, which we'll get into a little bit later on. Now I want to future-proof this video, so I'm not going to basically say this is what we need to do now or anything. This is literally my impression of the way you should look at this as you enter this space. Now, that does not mean that other people can't watch the video and say and recommend any suggestions that they've come out with, like particular crew loadouts that you found are actually quite useful. So if you do end up liking this video, please smash the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. So, Transogen space was brought in during Strange New Worlds 3 Part 1 as a new part of the new Flashpoint series for 2025. And to be honest, there's a lot to this today at the day of recording, which is literally a couple of days into the July arc where this is just launched. So this video may need updating despite the fact I'm trying to future-proof it. Now what you can see here is I've got two ships currently in Transogen space. It is pure and simple. It is a hazard system. Well, it's a hazard section of space. It's pure hazards. So if you are a G6 player, at least on Op 61, you've got the opportunity to make sure that your miners never die while you're mining. Otherwise, if you are less than that, I'm sorry to say, you will die eventually while mining. So, just what you actually need. So, now, entry into space is warp range 26. There's no point me trying to put a ship the Rialto on, because Rialto for me is got a warp range of 34. Yeah, it's a little bit, but it is warp range 26. There are multiple points on which you could enter Transogen space, so no need to worry. Pick a system and it will pick a flight path for you. But like I said, you will need to watch out for the warp ranges, but they do start at 26, and I think the next one then is in the warp 50 range. But the 26 will basically get you into these level, if I could just zoom in just enough, into these level 32 systems. Now we do have current missions going on because there is the Flashpoint event currently running at the minute, but we're not going to talk about that. So like I said, this is hazard space, and yeah, the 32 systems you'll probably find don't actually suffer from this one. There are other systems in here as well, which is locked behind Warp Token, which you will get from upgrading your Forge to specific levels. I'm not going to throw screenshots on. There are screenshots out there. Please check them out and see what it is you want to do. But I'm going to give you my opinion of how I'm tackling Transogen space, because there are certain things that I can't do, which you as lower level players, if you are watching this one, can do. But if you're a high level player in the G6, please, I need a better crew than to kill one hostile at my level. But I'll let you drop that crew in for me. I don't know if it's going to be a crew I've already tried. I've tried countless crews. But anyway, so I said it's a hazard system, so your first one is definitely going to be here, which is the level 34 system. And if we actually look at this, as you can see, its base hazard damage is 4%. Originally on launch it was 1% every 5 seconds, but Scopely in their infinite wisdom, and I don't quite understand why they did this, changed it to 4% every 20 seconds. That is still effectively 1% every 5 seconds. There is no benefit to players by changing it by that, by the fact that you can go 20 seconds before it takes that bit off your hull, but it's still going to take it, and it's not going to change how long you're mining for. And there's chases in these systems, so when you enter them, you're going to come under attack every single minute. Is it going to change the number of chases you can kill? No. But if you go for the other hostiles, it might benefit you. But the problem is, those other hostiles a complete and utter waste of time. But we'll talk about them in just a moment. But anyway, so as you can see, it deals 20% base damage, base hazard damage to your ships. Now, as you can see, my Enterprise has just literally come under attack. That's from one of the chasers. So as you can see, but like I say, we'll talk about them shortly. Now, the one thing is as well, what I will point out is that it's 20% for the 30s, the 40s, and their level 50 systems. But as soon as you enter G6 area, a level 62 system, which is right here, you're going to find it's going straight up to where we're used to it in G6 at 100%. So yeah, you're guaranteed to take damage. Now, one thing that is going to help the G6, as you can see here, I've got a 50% resistance against all hazards. So that's going to be effective for me here. But in the lower systems where it's only 20%, guess what? I'm mining without a problem. I've got a Selkie there mining. But it is a research aimed, if you are Op 61, it is a piece of research aimed at the Selkie. It will not cover any other miner. So sorry if you are G3, G4 or G5 and you're putting your miners out, you're going to lose your miner at some point in these systems, regrettably. Now, I did send out my envoy earlier. It did take a while for it to come through, but yeah, it just goes on how much hull. So it's a set percentage every 20 seconds it's going to take off your hull. And obviously that depends on how strong you are, how strong your hull is, compared to how much it actually takes off. But it, like I say, it's a set percentage. So what would be the best thing to go at here? Well, in my personal opinion, is start mining. As soon as you can, get a miner in here, get mining. Yes, for a low level player, you're not going to have as many docks as I've got, so you are going to have to sacrifice a dock. Because the mining times are all well and good, and they get better as you level up the building, which again we'll talk about shortly. But yeah, it can be a little bit of a pain in the backside. But anyway, so what nodes are you going to mine? Well, it's Transogen, or there are 3 grades to this. My Selkie here is currently mining, go away, a rare node. Now, you can start in the low level systems, even as a high player. If you've ignored this, let me just sort this miner out about that. So yeah, you can go mine in these systems. As you can see, I've got level 65s here, 64s, taking advantage of mining in lower level systems, because like I said, in the G6, you are going to start taking damage, even on a Selkie. But yeah, even like I say, an envoy in here is not going to take, it's going to take about 5-10 minutes for it to be destroyed, somewhere in that region. But again, that's still going to get you some mining. So what kind of a mining rate has my Selkie got on here? Bear in mind, this is only a tier 2. It's not as powerful as this particular Selkie here. But as you can see, it's only 424,000 per hour. So basically, this node, which actually is topped out at 500,000 when it resets, basically in just over an hour I can mine this particular node. Now, there are other nodes available as well. So if we go to the 44 system here, and if we click on the Enterprise, and could you have got her available, what we can do is we can have a look at these uncommon nodes. These are uncommon, so it's the next step down. So as you can see, the Enterprise can't mine these very well, but if I put the Selkie on it, oh, look at that, I've jumped up to 520,000. Yes, I've got 44 minutes left because obviously of the amount of cargo space I've actually got available. But if I put this ship in, 1 hour 21 minutes, I've got the space to chunk all this into that Selkie if I wanted to. So an hour and 21, that's not particularly too bad, but there is a reason why my mining speed's a little bit better, because I do have a level 10 building. But again, like I said, we'll talk about that shortly. But where do we all start with this? Well, there's only one place to actually start. Oh, that's a 42 system. Don't want the 42 system. That'll be right for this particular section. And this is going to be the common material. So again, this is what you start with. Mining rate for me, 628,000. So obviously a bit like Isogen for territory. So yeah, if you use the territory mine Isogen, you won't have a problem with this. But the only thing you will have a problem with is the hazard space. And as you can see here, passing these chasers. Yes, now it looks like we've got one right here frozen. Now, these are the chasers. Now, you're used to augment space, you're used to Texas space, you're going to know how to deal with these. You've got the attack and warp jump, plotter course just behind it, warp and stop the warp, or bring a second ship in to actually kill it. So, there are various ways to actually stop these things coming after you. Obviously, if you do attack it, not unlike the exile augment exiles in the new augment space, these things ain't going to kill you as fast. They've got no warp core destabilization system. What they do have to prevent their destruction in such quick order is an ablative armor. So the cutting beam obviously will not work against these. I mean, you're talking what, 50 years there. So yeah, don't expect to do anything for 50 years. As for the beam off the GS-31, I think because it's not mentioned here like it is with the exiles, I think you can use it here. So that is a bonus. So yep, send it out. The day of recording, I'm 15 days away from getting the GS-31 anyway. So, but as well, these ships come with their own abilities. So Apex Barrier, one of the new defensive measures in the game for the last, which came in, what, about a year ago now? Nearly. So you've got that to think of. It's on the start of combat. And then also it's got a pretty chunky isolytic damage as well. So when it comes to crewing is going to be kind of how you feel you want to do. Like I said, you're going after these hostiles for your specific grade. So it's like, for me, I want to be going after the 62s, but unfortunately for me, the 62s, if I show you my battle logs, I might have to get rid of some faction ones first, but scroll up. Oh, bloody hell, how many did I kill? So here we go. So as you can see, I was able to kill a 62, but then I died. I took a lot of hull damage off the 62s. So basically means I can't grind the ones I need at my level because I don't end up with a lot of hull. And I've been chopping and changing crews. I don't know if I can still do it because of the amount of assimilated I did and aquatics and... Right, no, I've got to the bottom and unfortunately I can't find any more. So which basically means, yeah, hang on, there you go. Yeah, that'll be about right because I was testing myself against a lot of the 60s. Against the 62s, and I was coming up short with various crew loadouts. Part of me's thinking I still have some. I might just oh no, that's an hour ago. So yeah, so they've disappeared off my battle logs. So yeah, crewing how you see fit would actually be well, entirely how you want to do it. Best crews I can probably recommend would be like Strange New Worlds above deck. If you've got a decent PvE crew, yeah, Hugh, Nurse Chapel, make sure you've got the slots available below deck because you are going to need them. So now, if we can just find one in this system. No, it looks like they're all under attack. So, right, here we go. So the one that's coming after me right now. So what are they going to drop as a loot? They're going to be dropping these, which is Transogen canisters. Now you can see that they are the grade specific, shall we say. Let me get my words out. And you'll get them between specific hostiles. For me, these are no good. I thought I'd start here with the combat, and yeah, proved massively wrong right now. But yeah, going after these is all well and good, but that's going to do me no good. Now, they do drop a chest every time you kill a hostile. And what you're going to get for that chest? Well, you're going to get a significantly increased amount of those particular canisters. So if we claim this chest here, 3,000, an absolute massive increase. So it is absolutely worth doing these. And the reason I say the grade specific, because you will be taking them to the refinery. Yes, there is a refinery with this as well, but again, you're going to need the building, which is the next thing we're going to look at. So in my opinion, to start off with, when it comes to these, mine. However, watch out for these chasers, because as soon as you enter the system with any ship, including a miner, it will come after you. And yeah, you could literally put, it's like the Selkie, I've got mine in there. I could have a chaser attacking him. But the problem is that means I'm going to have less mining time at it. And I'm not going to walk away with as much. Yes, as you can see, I'm massively OPC. Massively OPC. But yeah, not many people are going around OPC hunting at the moment. I'm sure that will change eventually. But yeah, start with the mining, get it in, because you're going to need it for the beginning parts of the refinery. So, but we'll talk about that in just a moment. Again, the hostiles, if you've got a ship to go after them, by all means, go after them. Now, the other hostiles you are going to find in here, which is the complete and utter waste of time hostiles, is these. It's independent traders. As you can see, they're dropping resources. There are some Klingon ones as well, so watch out for them ones. But again, they're just giving the reputation. That's it. For those of you who remember the arc where we did the Klingons against the Romulans, and you had like Romulan hunters in Klingon space, certain systems with Romulan hunters in Klingon space, and then you went in Romulan space, you had certain systems with the Klingon hunters, and it was always the Klingon traders, which was good for your Borg cube as well, in the early days of the Borg cube. Something similar with these. So, yeah. These are not the hostiles you're going to be going after. It is going to be the chasers. I mean, here's one that's frozen out. So, yeah. These are the ones that are going to chase you down. So, you literally just put a ship there and auto-grind them if you can do it. But like I say, when it comes to crewing, it's going to come down to what you've got available. Strange New Worlds is definitely ones. Hugh, Chapel, some Apex Shred to get their barrier down if you really wanted to. But I would definitely say Isolytic Defense would also be another good one, and making sure you've got some Isolytic boost. So maybe Janeway, Enterprise E Data, and another officer, say like Anorax, maybe. Now, obviously, because they do drop a chest every single time, people have asked about, does Anorax work for the loot chest? No, he doesn't. It is specific in his description what he works for. So, there you go. Some people are adamant they've had him work, but others are saying no, he doesn't. Tests have been ran. It doesn't work. So, but yeah. So, start with mining. When it comes down to the hostiles, yeah, okay, if you really want to go for the grind, by all means. So, let's jump back into the base then and look at this new building, which is the Forge, because this is what you are going to need, and this will really help you as well towards mining, at least. So, here it is then, just below the Nova Station, the Nova Squadron base. As you can see, you've got refinery and research here, so allowing you to go to those particular tabs. As you can see, I'm level 10, but if we actually look at what this building provides, so you've got isolytic damage. At the minute, 8% is not particularly big for me. Apex barrier against PvP, sorry, for PvP. And then obviously you've got your mining rates as well. So as you can see, for level 10, I've got common, transogen mining, uncommon and rare mining, so all seeing a nice little boost, which means I can mine that a little bit faster as well. Also, a little bonus here for scrapping, ship scrapping speed, increasing that as well, so making it a little bit faster to scrap ships. And then, of course, you've got the exocom, but we'll talk about the exocoms as we go into the refinery. Now, there is a piece of research, as it clearly says here. All the buttons working today, which is this one right here. This is unlocks a one-time rewards claim of Transogen Forge build when the building is at the required level. And it's going to cost you this Transogen Forge dust to actually do it. Luckily, you're going to be able to get your hands on that one pretty early on, but to that level, no, you're going to have to work for it. Now, I will say that this is designed to be a slow pace unless you're prepared to actually go spend some money. But here we go. This is where you're going to bring in the mining stuff into the Transogen refinery, which is just under the ship parts and above Continuum. So we're starting off with the common, then you've got the uncommon and the rares. Now, the single chest is pricey. Let's not mince words. It is pricey. You are going to need to mine a lot just to pull this every day. And also you're going to be guaranteed some of the actual refined Transogen as well for the specific grade. So here we got common. The uncommon will give uncommon ones and the rares will give the rare ones. But then you've got a chance of some of this dust. So as you can say, it's only a 20% chance of actually pulling any of this dust. So yeah, not particularly very good at the RNG on that one. Now, the 2 chest pull, which is available if you are a hardcore grinder, 5.7 million for me. Yeah, that's extremely expensive. I ain't going to do that. Literally, I'm not. To do that, I'm going to have multiple miners in there all day, every day. So, realistically, if you want to go after the 2 chest pull, unless you're prepared to mine it and forget everything else in the game, forget it. Just forget it. Now, at the time of recording, obviously, it is the most difficult part of this. It's going to get easier as time. So the chance that by the time you see this video, that 5.7 million might actually be so easy to achieve. So, and then you'll be progressing through this a lot faster. But here we go. So you've got the uncommon one. No dust in here, so don't expect any dust. But again, 1.38 million to actually do this one. And then just a quick look at the race one. Again, it's just the rare canisters. So yeah, pulling them, but 2.3 million. You see me mining on them at the minute. My Selkie can't even hold 1 million. Is it worth me putting my Nova out that can hold multiple millions? Yes, but it's not going to take anywhere near what the Selkie can. So it's better for me just to use the Selkie, return it when it's done. It's only an hour's mining to do just under 1 million. Just under actually about 2.5 hours of mining to do just under a million. Jesus Christ, I really can't get my words out. Just under 1 million. So I'm looking around about 5 hours, maybe 6 hours just to do that chest. That's how much mining I actually have to do. Again, there is a cooldown timer on these as well. It starts at 22. I'm not sure about the higher grades if it's got a longer timer or not. So now, when it comes to the hostiles, we saw that they were dropping these canisters. This is where you're going to be bringing those canisters. As you can see, I need G6. Shucks. That's the one I'm really struggling with. But if I click in here and show you what I'm actually going to be getting out of this, well, I'm going to get some of the other canisters, the refined Transogen. I'm going to be getting some Latinum, and I'm going to be getting some uncommon skill points as well. But again, I need 84,000. That's a lot of G6 hostiles I've got to kill. For me, right now, in the beginning of this, it's not worth me going after until I've got more isolytic. As I said before, I went G6 before I was actually fully ready. I don't have the higher levels of isolated damage like 150%, 200%. I don't have them. I think I'm just over 100. So I've got a lot more work to do on my isolated damage before I can actually go out and kill more. So crews for me are looking like, yeah, what can I do? So 84,000. It's going to take me an extremely long time to do. And as you can see as well, it did say it gets better, it boosts up every time the forge is also leveled up. Then I've got this one again using the exact same, using the rarer canisters in here. So again, that's going to hit higher 60s. But again, 42,000 for this. But it's giving me Sigma speed ups as well. Now, is it worth me trying to go after these right now? No. It's only 5 minutes and 15. Yes, they're guaranteed. But the problem is, I can't kill those hostiles to get these canisters. I might as well just wait a little bit. I'm getting a nice little trickle of Sigma speed ups as I go along every single day anyway. So this is not going to be particularly too bad for me to wait for. Now as well, I'll also get access to some of the new artifacts as well. But it is an RNG chance for these. As we can see, 25% chance. These are mastery artifacts, which is similar to the IA building way they've done it, but for some reason, instead of using the artifacts you've currently got, they're adding new ones in to actually do it. Yeah. IA building, all the loops, master them, you get rewards every single day. Artifacts, max them, forget it. We'll give you some new artifacts we want you to max to get the mastery, to get the rewards. Yeah, thanks very much, Scopely. But that's just the way it is. So, Scopely, love to make sure that you are grinding. Unless you're prepared to spend some money. Now, next up is the forged materials. This is going to give you a daily drop of materials. It's paltry to begin with. In the battle pass is the reason why I'm level 10 within a couple of days. So I will be able to get higher up. But this, it's going to take me 2 days to actually get enough just to go to level 11. So, yeah. It is a slow drip. So hopefully when I go with level 11, it's actually going to be a little bit better for me. Now, moving on to the next part of the refinery is artifacts. These will cover pretty much every single artifact we currently have in the gallery right now. And in the commons as well, it's also going to give you some of the newer mastery. No, it's not, because they're not there. They're not there. But it's going to give you a load of stuff. So it's like here you got protected cargo. You've got max cargo again. So I can click on these and I can spend some of my uncommon common canisters here to actually do this. Now, what I am going to say is the chest in here for pulling the 6 chests is cheaper in the long run than the 1 chest. Because at a cost of 36 per chest, 6 chests should cost me over 216. Right? Over 216. It's only half the cost. So it is worth actually doing it so you can max these out a lot faster. And it also does actually mean you don't have to worry too much about doing formation armadas. Focus on this, you can sort out your artifacts, not a problem. So in here we've got building mat efficiency, ship repair cost efficiency. So a lot of other stuff in here, hull health as well for the battleships, explorers. So it's like, for me, for this one would be a bit more beneficial. Again, 24 for uncommons for the single chest, or just 3 times the amount for 6 times the number. Absolutely worth it. And I'll tell you what, because of the Enterprise D I've got, I need this one. So let's actually get it and see, does this have a cooldown or can I keep coming back? It has a cooldown. So you can only pull 6 every 22 hours. Hey! So then I can technically spread the cost, but it also allows me to build it up. And, excuse me, then we've got the rare side, which is using the rare refined transogen, giving you the epics. So it's like you've got ship components there for 3-star and 4-star. Ship components as well with Scottish Trident, which is in general. Player damage and energy damage and things like that. But the one thing that's going to be a bonus in here, if you really want to, is going to be this one, which is increasing your isolytic damage against just increasing isolated damage in general, really. So, but as well, another one from this particular chest that I would consider a lot of use is this is the isolytic defense for all your ships as well. But again, I've got to mine the rares, so 6 hours a day of mining just to do the chest pull, just to come in here and be able to do this. But again, the cost is still literally for 6 chests is half the cost it should actually be if you went by the 1 chest. So yeah, I can't grumble at this particular point because it is fantastic, the cost value of them. So then as well, you got like your temple artifacts here, so like your book of Transogen, whole health increase, got others as well. So another one here which has been pushed about the isolytic boost for all your ships as well. So as you can see, 60% boost at level 12, 36. Absolutely worth going after these to be able to complete it. But again, it is a slow drip on the actual refined stuff. So I've got a couple here that I've not even opened yet. Worth me going after. But it is a slow drip. So just bear that in mind. Next up is Exocoms. Now you will get a free claim once you open the building. If I remember correctly, it was in here for the Exocom slot, which is going to give you some Exocoms. Again, another great thing for this as well. It's giving you some cost efficiency for parts for specialty ships. We went over this in the patch notes about what it is. So if you want to know what's in here, you can either come in here yourself and do it, or go watch the patch notes. Again, Ball Cube, that's pretty much the only one I want. Now, these activate straight away once you actually purchase them. So it's like, I could go for these two, but I don't need them. Now, there is another downside to these, which is not a downside per se, but it is a downside for me, is the 12 hours. When you do an upgrade, are you sitting there for 12 hours upgrading a Devore? You can literally upgrade a Devore in 5 minutes from level 1, from literally fresh out the shipyard, to tier 9. Is it? Yeah, tier 9. You can do it in 5 minutes or less. Why do I need to for 12 hours? How many do they expect me to build? Based on that math, right, it's 12 an hour. 12 times 12 is 144. 144 Devores. I haven't got that many blueprints, Scopely. I mean, come on. So, it's nice the fact they've done it, though. It is nice the fact that they've done it, but really, 12 hours? Do we need 12 hours? But some players might do, because they might get interrupted. They might be at work and, like, sneakily playing the game, and they've activated one of these, so they're going to upgrade. And they come up to you and go, oh, by the way, Joe Blogs, can you just do this for us? And you're thinking, for God's sake, I've just loaded my game up. Yeah, fine, I'll come and do it, because you've got no choice because the boss has asked you to do it. Or better yet, you could be at home, sat there playing your game, one of your kids says, I want a drink, I want something to eat. And bear in mind, these are kids who can't do it themselves before anyone comments that bit. These are kids who can't do it themselves. So, yeah, I'd love to teach a 5-year-old how to do his own juice. Technically, I can. He's 5. But any younger, no. But I like to do it myself for them anyway, so I can make sure that they're not making the juice like extremely strong. But anyway, and I definitely wouldn't let them cook. Hell no. So you obviously you're going to have to put the game down while you do certain things. So having that 12 hours, I can see why it's actually there. Now, obviously, you've got research ones as well for the various research. I don't need the outlaw tree because, well, guess what? I've finished it. It's no use to me. Defiant research, pretty much finished. Mantis research, cost efficiency, yes. Because I've given it up. I've given up doing it. I've given up. I don't need the Mantis. It's boring me. To be perfectly frank, right, the only time I used the Mantis was to go after Syndicate XP. I can get that from the Xborg faction store. I'm now waiting for the Mantis to actually enter the AI building to give me the loot, to do the Syndicate pull. Yeah. I don't use the Mantis as a ship anymore. That's it. It's in the hangar collecting dust. In fact, I think it's got about 3 inches of dust on its dorsal hull as it stands right now. That's how long it's been sat in the dock. Sat in the in the in the hangar. So ball cube research, yet again, that's something that I would go after because it is actually worth it. But again, the ball cube don't come out very often. Voyager research, I've finished. Don't need it. Cerritos research, pretty much finished. Research speed, however, this is another one which will actually benefit me, and an increase of 800%. I'm waiting for the treasury to come round. Guess what? 800%. That's going to knock a lot of time off, and then stack it with the other research ones as well. I'm going to be able to cut research down by a tremendous amount. And in fact, I tell you what, right? Let's actually look at this one. Let's actually look at this one. Let's go look at some research in my R&D building right now. So when it clicks over, because they are in the high number days at the minute, the research I've got to do. So jump in there, combat tree, and we'll scroll over to where I'm researching. Now, I need to remember a specific piece of research to actually look at. What we'll do is we'll go with stage 5-star station vulnerability. So we can see this is 100 days for me, right? 100 days. Because we won incursions as well recently, I've got that bit running as well. So there's nothing I can do about that one. But what we can do is we can go back to the forge. Well, technically we could go through the refinery and do it that way, so we don't have to go there. Then we need to scroll to the exocoms, not the combat. We want the research efficiency. Scroll this down, and we're going to... Remember, it starts straight away. Come on. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Activated. So I've got an exocom running right now. And then we'll just show you the exocom running. And then if we jump here. So as you can see, 800% going. And then obviously we've got the incursions one. So that's 1150% increase. I've only got 22 hours left on that. So, but... oh, this is only 5 hours. 5 hours. That's a bit more of an acceptable time frame. I mean, in a sense, really, right? If we really honestly about how we want these XComs to work, we want them to work for weeks and weeks and weeks. But obviously, now you just saw the 54 days as well for me research. I'm sure you spotted that when we came in the first time round. So, oh, hello. I didn't mean to put the timer back down there. So, believe me, we're at 38 minutes already. So here we go. Then station vulnerability. Wow. 21 days. That's just taken off. 21 days. That's 6,300 pieces of latinum. That's just saved me. That's not bad. So put that in along with getting all that latinum from the treasury. I'm going to be blasting a lot of this research out and then finally getting into my G6. Now, obviously, some of the G6 as well is not as high, but this is like 16 hours. Let me try and find one that I remember of how long. I think it was right at the end. This one particularly here. Yeah, it's knocked about 6 hours off, 3 to 6 hours off this one. I can't remember if it's 13 or 16 hours this, but it's not 3 to 6 hours off this. For Sigma... and the speed ups you've got, the fact you've got, and the latinum cost, well, you forget the latinum cost, you're looking at your speed ups, that's a significant amount of speed ups I'm actually saving with this particular research, with this particular exocom. And like I say, it does stack with the other exocoms, so just to prove a point, we'll go to the station tree, and we'll add that 200%. So now we're at 1350. So we're at quite a high level of research speed. And then again, we'll go to that particular piece of research. So scrolling across again, just to proving that it does stack. We know it went down to 80 days, 8 hours. What's it gone down to now? 76. It stacks. Wow. That's not bad. That's 25 days I've saved myself with just those two exocoms. But obviously the incursions one that we won is running. That won't be running when I get round to the the treasury bit. But still, 25 days that saved me. That is brilliant. Yeah, great. Yeah, I literally lost for words on that particular one. Now, I did say that there's warp tokens as well that you'll get when you get to specific levels of the Forge building. Where you're going to find them when they do proc is going to be in here. So watch out for it for around here. I've already claimed mine, so that means I could actually access one of those systems. Quickly to mention as well, those systems, I should have mentioned this earlier, do not have hazards. They do not have hazards, but as well they have better nodes as well. A lot better nodes. So you can go in there and mine. It's like, for those of us who remember the antique Latinum systems, where you had a token to get in there, but it's like better nodes, faster mining speeds. And you put one of your slow miners on it with a big cargo bay, and you was in there for weeks mining. Yeah. The Selkie would go in there one day and just obliterate it. But again, I'm only going to get them every so often. How often they'll drop afterwards, I do not know. Sadly. But like I said, there are charts available. Now, I believe there's one or two other things left on the refinery to show you. And then that's Transogen pretty much covered. So, yep. You got FKR jumps, which is basically your faction ships being able to do an insta jump to specific locations. But again, you're going to need this dust, which again is RNG based in the common Transogen refinery section. But this will allow you to do a single instant jump, instant warp. So in this case, the original Enterprise in the game to wherever you need to within its warp range. So that goes up to the Enterprise D for me. And then of course we've got this one, so when I go 10 plus, I'll get this available. And what this is going to do is it's a one-time reward unlock. That's what this piece of research is for in the Star Path tree. It is in the Star Path tree, so just bear that. I should have mentioned that. But again, getting some Sigma speed ups as well, but I won't get this until I go level 11, which won't be until 24 hours after I record this. So it'll be the day I drop, most likely the day I drop this, if not the day before I drop this video. Depends on how quick I get it edited. So that is the refinery then. So yeah, that's the Transogen and the Forge itself. There's, oh, poor Enterprise is dead. There's not much else you can say about it, really. It's a fantastic. It is a fantastic loop. However, it is very grindy, very miney, very combat grindy. So, to go back on the step-by-step of my personal opinion, start mining as soon as you can enter the system. Yes, you're going to be putting a miner in there frequently. You're going to be repairing it frequently. You're going to get pissed off. No questions about it. It's going to piss you off somewhat chronic. But it's a start. It's going to get you it. The building opens at Ops 35. Should have said that bit. But it opens at Ops 35. That's when you can start it. Again, it is a slow drip. I've got the battle pass right now to help me level this thing up quite far. But obviously, if you're watching this after the first month, guess what? You're going to have the slow increase. But it's, in a sense, it'll be good on one hand if you do it like this. Just mine. Put a miner in there, let it mine. Even G6 players, if just mine. Don't worry about the combat side of things. You'll get there eventually when you get this thing leveled up. So if we actually look at this right now, look at the details. For me to see a decent isolytic damage, 30, let's say building level 30 is going to give me 23% isolytic damage. Not really an awful lot. So realistically, for me, when it comes to doing this, is literally, if we follow the process, is mining. Why I've gone in there, I do not know. So it's mining into the refinery. Claim this as often as I can. So is it 2.3 million? Yeah, so I'm going to put me thing back out there later on. I'll probably go actually mine some common overnight. So get this chest, and then for me, what I'll be doing then is jumping over to the rare artifacts, coming in here, and then getting these two, which is the generators and the Queen's Remains, and then as well go after the Glavin, because with the Glavin there is another way to actually get the Glavin, which is through one of the faction stores. No, here it is in the augment store, the augment. But the problem is that I've got with this right now is it needs epic credits. Not easy for me to come by at current. Yes, I can kill the 62s. Sorry, the level 60s. I'm not finding very many traders, but then again, I'm not actively doing this properly, the augment side of it, until I get the Reliant. Because it's too much grinding. Scopely have just literally over the last 3 months added way too much grind to the game. I'm not going to participate in it because I don't have the time. I'll wait till it becomes easier. Yes, I'm going to have to play catch up. But hey, that's me. But now because I've got another way I can get this, not a problem. Again, like I say, 6 hours mining a day. I've got no problem with sparing that cell key every single day to go mine it. I literally don't. I've not got a problem. So I will get the Glavin as well as the other two, and then I'll go through the rest of them. Can't grumble at that. But anyway, let me know what you think. What kind of a path are you taking? Are you doing both mining and the hostile grinding? Are you actually succeeding relatively well at your particular level in the grinding? Because I know I'm not. One hostile? Yeah, that's a waste of time. But anyway, thank you for joining me. I hope this video has been informative and it was still going to prove useful. God only knows how far down the line after this event, after this July 2025 has finished. But until then, I'm Admiral Pegasus. Stay safe, live long and prosper, and I shall catch you on the next video. Goodbye.